Hey, what's going on, everybody? And Davis here. Um, I actually am going to do my chapter review for Fairy Tale Chapter 288. And I know why you're thinking, like, oh, another Fairy Tale chapter, bleh, like, you're not really interested in Fairy Tale because, like, he's basically going downhill. Like, chapters aren't really that good. I don't know what Hero's doing with his new arc, and it's kind of like the 7-year time skip was like a fail, but, um, surprisingly, this chapter was actually really good. And best of all, it even had a good fight scene, and the fight was really good. It was Sheila from Limey Scale versus Wendy from Fairy Tale. At first, well, if you guys don't know who Sheila is basically Shirley's cousin from Limey Scale, and as they both are fighting, like, we thought Wendy was winning because she's basically owning this Sheila girl, because the Sheila girl doesn't look like much. We already know what Wendy's potential is because she's a sky dragon slayer. So we're thinking, like, she got it, she got this in the bag. She probably hit this girl's ass and move on to the next one. But surprisingly, every time that Wendy would try to, like, beat this girl, she would always get back up. And we find out that this girl is actually um, a Sky God Slayer. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with, like, God Slayer magic, if you remember Grimoire Hearts, I forgot what the dude's name was again. He actually had God Slayer fire magic. So basically, there are more than just wind, fire, and there are more Sky God Slayers out there. Well, not Sky. Well, more God Slayers out there that are in the works. And Wendy, she's still trying to fight and stuff. Everybody's cheering their other teams on and stuff like that. And then Wendy busts out this really cool looking move. Like, well, the fight was going back and forth. Like, like they were both using sky magic. We just thought that this might be a tie. But Wendy busts out this pretty cool move called shredding wedding. At first, it's kind of like, and it was like piercing winds or something like that. I'm not sure what the last part was, but I know the first name of the technique was shredding wedding. And we thought that Wendy won. Like, thought that Wendy had it in the bag, but it turns out that she didn't even do much damage to her at all. Like, her clothes, like Sheila's clothes was like a little bit scratched up, but her face was just like, like, nah, that's all you got. Just, please, you ain't nothing. And I was just surprised. I was like, what? Like, this chick is not, she's pretty tough. And then a funny part in there, like, sure was like, my cousin don't play around, like, and the guild master from Limey Scale is like, girl, please, you are not even half her strength. You better go on somewhere. Just chill, okay? You're not even, you're not stronger than her. Just need to just sit your little ass down. But anyway, meanwhile, Mystagon is currently trying to find the dark energy that is coming from Zerth um, in the arena. And Mystagon, he shows up and everything. And the guy with the scars on his face, I can't remember his name was. I think his name was like um, Nolton Bolt. It was something Bolt. I forgot. Something Bolt. He was the imposter that was in the Timro Island arc that pretended he was a part of the Fairy Tale Guild just to spy on them. Um, he saw him, and Mrs. Gon's like, looking at Sheila, and he's thinking, like, is this girl, like, does she have, like, she connected to Surf in some way? And that's where the chapter ends. And I have to say, this chapter was actually really interesting. Finally, this fight was actually better than any of the fights we've seen. Well, besides Laxus versus the Raventail, that was a pretty good fight too. Even though, like, I think it was kind of like a cop out where he had to fight all of them, and then he ends up kicking all their asses and stuff like that. But Laxus is a boss. Laxus gets a pass because he's a boss. He's the only one in Fairy Tail I actually do like. And Wendy is starting to become my favorite now too because of how she's fighting, and she's actually takes lessons instead of having, to do what's that boy's name, dog? Uh, Dang, I can't remember that boy's name for nothing. It'll come to me in just a moment. Oh, I'm in a brain fart right now. Natsu, that's his name, Natsu. She, does her own thing, and like she doesn't try to pull moves out of her ass like Natsu does, and doesn't like do that whole like I gotta, Minushi, fairy tale Minushi. No, she uses what she learned and she puts that into her techniques and powers and stuff. Even Lucia was like, oh, she using that technique? Oh my god, like I wanted to help her out, but I didn't think she'd be doing this good, Even she was shocked, being the um human version of the Edolos Sky Dragon Grenine. She's pretty impressed, She may not look it, but she was actually kind of impressed a little bit. Um I had to give this chapter maybe like a 4 out of 5. Just because it was that good. The fighting was good. You know, Hero, good job. If he can keep this up, that'd be great. But I'm not expecting next chapter to be, just as good as this one because I highly doubt it. But that's it. That's it. Leave comments below. Tell me what you guys think of the chapter. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you guys next time. Peace, sayonara, and I'm out.